What's up, everybody? My name is James. This is Enter Black Void, and we're going to continue the conversation on morality. So, now the question is, why would you want to anchor your morals based on opinions, right? When we say morals is subjective, that means it's based on opinions, it's based on feelings. Now, we all know that opinions can be wrong. You thought something was right before, and now you've changed your mind because you realize it was always wrong. Your thoughts, your ideas, your opinions was wrong because of new evidence, the truth that came out, right? So this is the dangers of having subjective morals because your moral framework can change based on new evidence if you want to change it, right? And that's a big if, because some people can ignore the truth all day. They don't want to change necessarily. So these are the dangers of subjective morals. You have no anchoring to the truth, right? Now, it causes constant change, and that's a bad thing, right? When you what you want is moral framework that is anchored to the truth, that is something real, that's not necessarily subject to change. But if a change were to occur in objective morals, it would only be due to the fact of adaptation. Something new happens, a new technology happens, a new event happens that causes us to add more rules and add more laws to our moral framework. So it's not that the moral framework was wrong before. Is this a new circumstance caused this moral framework to adapt to new situations? You see? And that's the difference. When you have subjective morals, your moral framework will constantly change because it's guesswork. But with objective morals, your moral framework would adapt to new situations and new circumstances. And that's the difference, you see? And that's one of the benefits of having objective morals is that you're on solid ground, you see? And now I know many people are thinking, what is the truth? I'm going to stop you right there. If you think like that, then you are a hypocrite and a dangerous individual because you have no problems with science telling you what the truth is, right? You have no issues in with the truth when it comes to other fields of studies like mathematics, science, logic, right? Medicine. Y'all have no problems with the truth and determining what is the truth in those situations. But when it comes to morals, all of a sudden, what is truth? Don't be a hypocrite. Please don't be a hypocrite and don't be, don't play that. Stop that. Truth exists. Reality exists, right? There is a way things should operate, right? And things can move. This is why we have a logical, coherent world that we have today. Whether people adhere to the truth or not, that's a different story. But we do have a logical, coherent world because the truth never changes. We know that day, the sun rules the day. We understand that day is 12 hours and then followed by night, which is another period of 12 hours, and that constitutes as a approximately 24-hour cycle. We can tell the difference between humans, tell the difference between animals. We can tell the difference between carnivores and herbivores. We see the differences in people. We see different colors. We see, it is because of the truth that we're able to advance in technology. So please don't say what is truth in the realm of morals. All it does is proves your hypocrisy and you're willing to move the goalposts because you do not want to be anchored in something truthful and something real, right? Because you want to do what you want to do. And you don't want anybody, you know, reprimanding you. You do not want accountability. This is why you shift the goalposts, right? So let's not do this. There is objective truth. This is why things work the way they work. I'm in front of you right now, in front of a webcam, speaking to you because there is a truth. There is a logical consistency in the world that allows us to function, right? So, this is why the framework of objective truth is far more superior than subjective opinions. You see? Because now you're grounded in something that is real and something that nobody can argue, right? So, for instance, we can say in the summertime, it's hot. Therefore, we can say we can provide moral prescriptions on what dresses to wear during the summertime. That way you don't overheat yourself, right? Because if you overheat, you get heat strokes. That's very problematic. We understand winter as it is, it's extremely cold. So therefore we can recommend this is the types of, drink soup, drink tea, warm things to keep you warm because you do not want to have hyperthermia. So you see, we can make these moral prescriptions and moral laws based on what is truthful and what is factual in order to minimize hurt, right? That's the whole goal of morality. Morality is a language, right? Think of morality as a language, a language of behavior, right? What is the right behavior and what is the wrong behavior? And we use this language in order to maximize our longevity, right? We use this to live optimally. We use this moral codes, right? Morality in order to navigate this world and to interact with each other so that way we can achieve balance, order, and harmony. You see, morality is it's a language, like mathematics, like logic, right? We say 2 plus 2 is 4, right? We can say for morality that the right behavior creates the right outcomes for social cohesion, right? Bad behavior creates bad circumstances and it disrupts order. You see, we've have experience over and over again because human nature is fundamentally the same, right? I could be in America, somebody is in Africa, another person is in Europe, another person is in China, but we still are all humans at the end of the day. And we still have the same vices and virtues. We still have the same human behaviors and human anatomy. So therefore we can, because of this universality, right? Because we have commonalities between us, we understand what is right behavior and what is wrong behavior. This is why we have, parents instruct their children on this is not good or this is good. Because virtue, just like words is to language, numbers is to mathematics, music notes is to music, virtues is for morality. So morality is a language of behavior, and we use virtues as grammar and as words and as numbers. We use virtues in order to communicate with each other. I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. Morality is a language, right, of proper behavior in order to have social cohesion. Just like music theory is a language in order to play harmoniously, right? So you don't create dissonance because you're trying to communicate between the musician and the audience so that way your audience understands exactly what you're trying to play as a musician. You can only understand my words is because I've, practiced the English language to such a way, to such a degree where you can understand what I'm trying to say. There is no confusion there, right? There's no ambiguity in what I'm saying. You can understand me because it's immediate, because I speak proper English. It's the same with morality. There's proper behavior, right? Morality is a language. This is why it's anchored to the truth. Because we know certain actions will cause harm to other individuals. We know certain actions will collapse society. We know certain actions will disrupt, like corruption, lying. We all know that these things are detrimental to the community. We know this. We all know it. This is why we're instinctively against corruption. We instinctively are against certain practices because it rubs us the wrong way. We feel there's a right when we feel injustice, inequality. It's because we have a sense of morals that we have a. I want to say not everybody has an innate, but we understand the truth that certain actions will destabilize certain people, right? This is why we advocate for the truth. This is why we promote the truth. This is why we have justice in the first place. This is why we have all these wonderful virtues: kindness, compassion, love. This is why we have these virtues in place, because we know if we practice them, right, the human spirit can elevate, society can elevate. It creates the atmosphere and the conditions for people to thrive. But when we practice vices, right, when there is corruption in society, when people are doing things based on their own imagination and their own opinions, we can see the chaos and the hurt that it causes us, right? Now, the thing is, you may say, well, one culture has a specific practice that's not found in many other practices. Well, yes, I understand that, but that still doesn't take away from the objective truth. And let me show you why. Because just because, let's say, the Yoruba people have a different moral system from the Chinese people, a different moral system than the Russian people. They have a different system, moral system from Americans and Canadians, and the Indians have a different moral systems from the Argentinians. It's because they're in different geographical locations. And different geographical locations have different climatic atmospheres, right? Their realities is different, even though we share the same reality. We have many worlds within one world. So we have to contextualize our morals based on the historical context, the geographical locations, the ecological stability of that environment, right? And the climatic situations. So we have to take on that nuance, but it doesn't erase the objective truth. What it does is contextualizes the objective truth. If my reality is I live in the savannah, I don't expect the people from the jungle to adhere to the rules of the savannah, because they're two different environments. I don't expect the people in the mountains to follow the same rules as people in the desert. That's nonsensical, because they have two different evolutionary adaptations. The people from the cold, the ice people, they will not have the same morals as the people from the tropics. That doesn't make sense. So we have to contextualize our morals based on our realities, but that doesn't erase the objective truth. This is exactly why I came up with omnijective truth or omnijective morals. Because we have to take the objective truth and the cultures themselves, right? The collective has to use the truth based on their environment in order to navigate and find sustainability within their geographical location, right? So you can have objective truth and it's contextualized within that culture because they're in different climatic situations, but it doesn't erase the objective truth. Because guess what? Like I said before, you can't have an opinion about anything if you don't have reality. Then you'll make an opinion about nothing because you're in nothing. Right? So, having objective morals doesn't take away from individuality at all. It doesn't make you robots. It doesn't make everybody the same because you still can express yourself in different ways, right? You still can be an individual and still have the same moral frameworks. For instance, if you were married, right? Clearly, you and your spouse are different, but you guys come together and have the same understanding, and that allows you guys to progress. That allows you guys to be in unison and unity and have teamwork and partnership. So this idea that objective truth is about making people robots or losing their individuality, that is nonsensical. That is absurd if you really think about it. Because my example of two people coming together as one in order to accomplish a project or in order to live together, right? It doesn't erase from the individuality, right? All it means is that they have to work together in order to cooperate with each other in order to live harmoniously with each other because they're not isolated any longer. They're together. And this is what communities do. You can still be your own individual and we can still speak the same moral language. So therefore I can communicate with you and you can communicate with me non-verbally based on your behavior. I show you respect. That's another powerful virtue, right? Respect is a powerful virtue, right? I can show you kindness. That's another powerful virtue, right? I can show you integrity and honesty. You see? So it doesn't eliminate individuality. It doesn't, objective morals doesn't erase individuality. It enhances it, if anything. Because now, if you have the expectations, or if you have the same expectations and moral behavior as I do, it enhances your individuality. Because now you're free to express yourself, knowing that you won't violate other people and other people won't violate you. So it's actually freeing that we have the same moral frameworks because we have expectations of behavior and we can navigate this world in a more effective and harmonious way. I don't want to, sometimes opinions are completely wrong. This is why subjective morals it's never been it. It's never, ever been it. It's always been, it's always been with objectivity. We need the truth. The truth will set you free. We all know that. So I hope this lesson was good. Understand that morality is a language and it's a powerful language, right? Because truth, hey, this thing right here, truth. Why would you even want a language, a moral framework that's not tethered to the truth? That's insane. That's crazy if you really think about it, right? So I hope this video was a blessing to you. I hope you guys um, understood the magnitude of having objective morals, right? I hope if you please like my video, please subscribe, please comment down below whether you agree or disagree. You can ask me questions and I'll be able to, answer your questions in the next video. I'll try my best to do so. So, peace.